Hi guys, Karen here, and today I'm scrapbooking these photographs of me with my work friends on a night out for my birthday. And I decided to use this background by Amy Tangerine from the On a Whim collection. It's a very busy background, as you can see, so I thought I'd do something I've never done before. I've always avoided it, but been afraid of doing it really, and that's to do some mixed media on a patterned paper, because I always think I'm going to ruin the paper and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But this time I realised it was just too busy and I just had to give it a go, so that's what I've done. So I've just sewed that area in the middle, and now I'm using some Shimmers products that I had in the these are all from my July hip kit, and these were in the colour kit. So I've already used the Sunset Strip. This is a Vibes by Shimmers. And then the pink one is called Sweetheart, and then I'm going to use the greeny coloured one, which is sort of a bit yellowy in the end. Looks green to start with, doesn't come out very green on the paper, and that's called Hermit the Frog. So I'm keep spraying on, then using the packaging to spread it out, and then spraying on a bit more. I do quite a lot of this, spraying and splodging and then drying with the paper towel, and it doesn't seem to really ever make much of an impression on the paper, to be honest. And there's a little bit of watered down London blue, which is a colour I've used quite often before, and that's by Dylusions. So I'm just adding that little bit of blue as well. It's all looking a bit of a splodgy mess, but I keep going with it. So I thought, well, I'll let that dry and I'll just back my photos. So first of all, I'm using this piece of paper from Chasing Dreams, Maggie Holmes' Chasing Dreams collection, and it's called Be Happy, and I'm using the turquoise side just to, because I thought the photos will need to have some backing against that busy paper and something a little calmer. And then I thought, all these colours all fit with the colours in the backing paper, so I thought I'd use this as well. This is the Irit Langraf paper that she created, and I thought all the colours are in there, and I was doing mixed media and it looks like a mixed media background. I thought it would be fitting, although you don't see a great deal of it obviously once I've trimmed it down. So I'm just sticking that on there, and that's all ready to go. This is now dried, and I'm thinking you still don't really get any of the colour, so I'm just having another go, putting some more on, spraying some pink, I was finding that every time I blotched it, the colour disappeared, so I'm going for it with a bit more vigour this time, putting a bit more colour, and rather than blotching it, I'm going to try and dry it with a excuse me, I'm going to dry it with my heat gun instead to see if I can maintain the colour a bit more. So I keep going with this. I'm clearly no Missy Widden. She makes it look so easy. I've watched so many of her videos and somehow I never managed to quite recreate what she does, but I gave it a go, and then I thought this blue would just lift it. It's actually quite a good match for the blue in the paper, and I thought, oh, that might just give it that little border that it needs to lift it back from the background. I think I made the border a little bit narrower than I should have because it's barely visible, but once you've stuck it down, that's that, and it was quite thin paper. Choosing between these two blues because I've decided as actually ended up quite warped, the floral paper, I need to back it with some cardstock. So I've chosen that royal blue, which goes quite well with the other blues in the paper and my background on my photo. So I'm just using some sticky tape to work my way down to stick it on, so that I can get it in place and just gradually take the tape off and get it in the right place. So that's it. And my photos are in the middle there. And now I'm going into the Amy Tangerine ephemera that came with the kit and trying to find some bits and pieces. I just wanted to get a tropical feel. You probably can tell by the paper that I've chosen. We've gone for a cocktail night, so I thought it seemed appropriate to give it a tropical flavour to the page, and it gave me an opportunity to use a load of pineapples that were in the ephemera for this month's kit. So not only these Amy Tangerine cardboard ephemera, but also there was lots of puffy stickers that were pineapples, so I get to use some of those as well. So I had quite a lot of fun just picking out some really bright, colourful ephemera to go with this page. I don't use all of the ones I'm picking out. I'm just picking out a selection here. seeing what will work. And I noticed that one of the pineapples and that heart there both had lines on, so I decided they would be quite good for my journaling a bit later on. But I'm now going to work on my title, which I've decided to call Cocktail Hour, because we did have about an hour in the cocktail bar and then we went on and had a meal. And I thought the first thing I'm going to do with those puffy pineapples is use them as the O's in Cocktail Hour, and that kind of just gave it a bit more of a tropical feel, and I thought that was quite fun to use those pineapples as O's. I quite like that. So Cocktail Hour, I've just put it there on a piece of wax paper just to kind of get an idea of where it might end up. And now I've decided I need to put something behind the pictures. I'm not really all that happy with the mixed media that I've done. But the white doily, no, that wasn't working for me. So then I found this. I've got a few gold doilies in my stash. They're quite old. I have had them for a long, long time. Hardly ever used any. But they're on this page. I thought that would work quite well. So it does tone down all that mixed media that I really wasn't very happy with, and you only just get a little bit around the edge. And also the gold doily, although it's quite large, you don't see a huge amount of it by the time I've put the photos back and put some ephemera around the page. Just that little bit of gold, and I think it just, for me, it worked better than white, and I rather like it. So I've done a little bit of journaling on that one pineapple there on the left, and all it just says that I was gone for a cocktail night with my friends from work, Faye and Paula, and that's all that bit says. And then I say a little bit more about what we did on the heart, which will be put on the page a bit later. So top left corner, just tucking in those bits and pieces, the two pineapples and the big shiny pink leaf. There was lots of shiny pink ephemera in this ephemera pack, so I thought I'm going to try and use as many of them as I can on this page. So I tucked in that watermelon there. That's going to provide a bit of a background or a base for the flamingo to stand on. I tried to use that flamingo on an earlier page and he didn't make it, so he's been hanging around saying, "You've got to use me now." So it's gone on this page. And another puffy pineapple. I didn't quite manage to use all of the ones I had in my kit, but I used as many as I could possibly squeeze on. So now I'll put the date on that heart, and then underneath a little bit more journaling, just say that after the cocktails we went on to have a lovely meal in a restaurant nearby. There we are. And I've just realised that the place I had it tucked in before isn't going to work now I've written on it, so I've got to tuck it in somewhere where it won't cover up all the writing. So I thought I just popped it in that corner, and that worked quite well. And there was quite a few. The hip kit designed lots of ephemera pieces for this kit, and that's one of the ones. It's it's like a plastic piece. It just says "went here." So I've just laid that there. It's going to be used in a little while. And I've tucked in that heart. It had some words punched out of it. I think it said "sweet things" or something, and I didn't really think that. I wanted the heart and the shiny pink, but I didn't really want the words, so I will cover that up, the words that the bits of the words that you can see there. So I popped in another exotic looking leaf behind the heart, carrying on the theme of that we were in an exotic location. It wasn't really that exotic, but when you're having cocktails, you can go as exotic as you feel. So that's just going in there. And then I'm trying to find a few more of these ephemera from the plastic collection, and that one says "all smiles and giggles," which was appropriate for the night out, because certainly by the end of the night, there was a lot of giggling going on. And on this little label, I thought I'd write the name of the bar that we were in, and then it then "went here" actually then makes a bit more sense. So I've just put that. It's called the Bar Ruche. So I've put that on that label, and that's where we were. And then I've used that, again, it's a shiny pink, and it's a sort of donut. So I've tucked that in, and it covers up the punched out letters, and then stuck on a badge. It's a puffy badge saying "hello." And this was a really fun night out. It's not something we've done very often, but so I put the word "fun" there. That's again from the Amy 10 ephemera pack. And they are enamel shapes. I tried to see if I could use any of those, but I don't end up using any. another plastic sticker, fun times. So anything to do with fun and having fun and enjoying ourselves, and anything brightly coloured, it was going on that layout. So then I wanted there was a little space at the top of that pineapple where the journaling is, so I put a little brad. It's pink with dots, so it looks a little bit like the watermelon. It looks like a watermelon on a brad. And that there just covers that little space there. Now I'm going through all the Amy Tangerine stickers, and I wanted to use that one which says "In Good Company," but I put it on another label because all of her stickers are transparent and they would have just got lost completely on this page. But on that little white label, it looks okay. And then I found this Friends and Food in my stash, and the colour went well, and the sentiment was right, so I thought that can go on the page. That's been hanging around for a very long time. I think that was in an old Scraptastic kit originally. So now I'm just thinking, what am I going to use? Hands are moving so fast here I can't see what I'm doing. All right, now I'm going to put my title on now, just across the top of the photographs, Cocktail Hour. And there's a little clip that I thought I'd just tuck in the corner there because the colours again weren't quite well. Try and find some. I've got these little emojis, and they've sort of got smiley faces or they're winking, and I thought they'd be quite cute. So 3 of those have gone on the page. And now what I'm doing, seeing if I can squeeze in one more pineapple. Yes, I can. It may not be the last one. In fact, it definitely isn't the last one. And I stuck another little button on there. There we are, Friends and Food is now in place. Now what else am I going to use? So much in this kit, it was absolutely jam-packed. And these are stickers from the Amy Tan, and they were pineapples again, so I thought, well, I'll pop one of those in that space at the bottom of the heart, just under that arrow there. I thought I'd pop in another little pineapple, fill in that space. As I say, this July kit had so much stuff in it. I've struggled to be able to use as much as I would like, so I've really thrown everything at this page. I've now decided that bit of, I don't know if you could see that bit of, there's a bit of mixed media that didn't look right. It was like a hard line of the gesso across the top there, so I thought I'd disguise that with a tropical tree, a palm tree sticker. So I popped it on there, so you can't really see the bit of mixed media that didn't look right. And now I'm just adding my final touch, again, as I always do, with some little sticky confetti that I've got in a nice big pot. So 3 places that will go in. So one on the pineapples, one on the heart, and there'll be one on the other heart with the journaling on down below. And that will be the final thing I shall do. So thank you for joining me. It's a bit mad, this page. It's a bit busy, but I still quite like it. It's quite fun. So thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe and join me again soon. Goodbye.